Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is Do, Ra, me, and today I will be reading Chapter 149 of Engagement in Peril by Dara, Odoe, Suk. Chapter 149 is titled Beginning to an End. Before I go into detail about our last night together, Shinshin and me, here's a little more notes and writing from Shinshin's daily log and diary of his activities. February 11th, 2008. Trip to Universal Studio theme park in Hollywood, California. You know that night of which Delilah had visited me in the VA's ER? I found a new look on life. Her visit to me gave me the strength to move on with my life and not die an easy death. So on this day, we have planned a day outing together, just she and we are going to Universal Studio in Hollywood. We have never gone there before together, but I have been there several times separately with my friends and adopted family. Like always, to keep our relationship a secret still, I met up with Delilah at the university area. She parked her car on Atherton across from the school gym pyramid, and I picked her up in my car shortly after. Delilah had arrived in another one of her doll-like outfit. It sort of bothered me, but I looked the other way since I was getting to spend some time with her today. From there, we gave each other a warm embrace and we drove off to have our day of fun together. For our 40-minute drive to our day of fun, we drove along Atherton northbound. We hooked a left on Bellflower Boulevard and then headed south towards 7th Street and then hooked another left and headed toward the 605 freeway interchange. After a good stretch on the 605 freeway, we then merged onto this California 110 North, headed up toward Hollywood, California, and we ended up in Universal City, where the Universal Studio Hollywood was located in. Once we had arrived to Universal Studio, we found parking in one of the upper level garage. Delilah was kind enough to pay for parking since I would be buying her the entrance ticket. Once we parked and we rated ourselves, we left the parking area and walked about the shopping outlet just outside the theme park entrance. We window shop at several stores and boutiques. We didn't make any purchases until we returned from our day of fun in the park. We then made our way toward the ticket booth and got in line. After a good while standing in line and chit-chatting, we found ourselves being asked what kind of ticket we wanted. Did we want the day pass, month pass, or the season pass for Universal Studio theme park? I took a look at Delilah, seeking her assurance, and asked her what she wanted. After a quick pause, she wanted the season pass. Since it was only a few more bucks than the days pass and months pass for Southern California resident, I was okay with that. That means we can come here more often, and maybe we can straighten our relationship as a result. That's what I like to think. Besides the season pass, I also purchased two all-you-can-eat wristband for our day's meal. I paid for the two season ticket passes and food wristband with my American Express credit card. After signing several receipts, we got our tickets and wristband and made our way into the popular Showbiz theme park. With our tickets in hand, we were allowed into the large entertainment complex. That day, our first and only time spent together at Universal Studio theme park at the season's expense. At the season's expense, Delilah and I were at and about the park for about over 6 hours during the morning and afternoon. We saw as much as we could and did as much as we could. We ate several times at several dining places throughout the park. We ate at American and Italian food station, consuming cheeseburger, fries, spaghetti, onion bread, sweets and dessert, and sodas and beverage to wash down our meals with. Besides the high fat and calorie food, we enjoyed ourselves on several rides and shows that the park had that day. We had a really nice day, I think. We went about to ride on the Back to the Future 3D ride, saw Shrek in 3D. We went on the Jurassic Park ride several times, getting wet and splashed in the process. We rode the Mummy Return roller coaster. We took several tours of Jaws and rode along the studio backlot where movies were made and filmed. We also sat and watched the living live performance of Waterworld, of which was much better than the actual movie itself. We took a scary tour of Van Helsing's scary house, getting screamed at and startled by various ghouls and demons on the way. To my disappointment, I tried several times to kiss and embrace Delilah during the tour, but she would have nothing of it. She was being selfish and trying to punish me for our disagreement that we had months earlier. But at least I was with her then. I was able to be by her side and be beside her, and that was all I wanted. Wanted to be near this girl that I truly love and adore. I thanked the Lord and whisper. We took some pictures of ourselves with various theme park characters like Scooby-Doo, Woody Woodpecker, and the cast of Flintstone and such throughout our day together at Universal Studios. After a good long day together, seeing and doing things together, and getting our fill of processed food with spaghetti, pasta, hamburgers, and other fattening food, we left the studio late that evening after dark and walked about the outside shopping area once again. We visited several souvenir shops and made some purchases. I bought Delia some dolls and trinkets that she had wanted, and after we returned to my car and drove our way home, before going to hang out in my apartment, we stopped by a nice Japanese restaurant in Cerritos. At the Kabuki Japanese restaurant where we dine and wine on udon noodles and sushi. After a good expensive meal at the Japanese bistro, we headed back to my apartment to hang out and get comfortable with each other. Once we arrived to my apartment, we did nothing more but just got down to business of making love. Della had come around today. She was showing some sign of affection, or maybe it was her way of thanking me for buying her the Universal Studio Seasons Pass. Maybe she was paying me with sex for the stuff I bought her today. She aroused me by kissing me on my neck and ear area. I returned the kiss by necking along her shoulder blade and back. Once we both had aroused each other enough, we got down and dirty. We both stripped naked and went at each other's body part. I ate away at her moist, hot lady part while she jerked me my penis and gave me head. From her hot snatch, I went about sucking and biting into her ample bosom while she allowed me to explode in and all over her face and mouth with my hot cum. We were once again making love like wild dogs. Like wild dogs. I had really missed this sort of thing that come down to each other, our animal sexual instinct and nasty lust for each other. We were once again making love like wild dogs. I really had missed this sort of thing that we had come to know of each other, our animal sexual instinct and nasty lust for each other. I was once again happy. I didn't know what that then that was our last night of ever touching each other ever again. If I had known then of that, things may have been different that night. I probably would have asked her to marry me once again or have been a little gentler in the love-making process. But I had no idea it would come to our last night together. Maybe that was her going away present for me. I had no idea what she was thinking or planning then. We enjoyed ravaging each other's body part that night, so I had thought then. Once again, I had noticed some boils and skin growth along and about Delilah's lower abdomen and lady part area. I thought nothing of it. I had told her about my boils and such, and she didn't think nothing of it either. I was pretty sure that she was the one who gave me that since I had never been with anyone else but her. I sure as hell don't know her story since she had been so secretive from me since we returned from England and Europe last winter. I just love being with this girl, Lord. I really miss her so very much. Thank you for this day, Lord, and I hope we can do some more outing together soon. After a good long hour or two, Delilah and I finished soiling our dirty deeds and seeds in and all over each other. We both then cleaned up our messes, and shortly after, I drove her back to her park hall, her park hall. Shortly after, I drove her back to her car parked at the university down the road on Alderton, and she returned to her family home that night around 2300 or so. I'm really glad we got to spend this day together. We hugged and kissed goodnight while she drove off toward her home. I hope that we can spend more time together like this soon. Thank you, Lord. In God's name I pray. February 14, 2008, Valentine's Day. I didn't get to spend much time with Delilah today on Valentine's Day. She had told me that she was busy. She had some errands and such to run with her mom, she had told me. She stole some time from her mom to come by my place to get her a surprise and gifts, and give something in return. I had bought and was going to surprise Delilah with several dozen of long stem roses, a nice large sized chocolate box of dark chocolate, and some other small trinkets and surprises for her. When she arrived, I gave her my loving gift, and she hugged and kissed me in appreciation and thanks. In return for my gift, she handed me a small box of chocolate and a nice little Valentine greeting card that she had picked up from one of the local street vendors that she goes about selling a last moment gift for people who forgot gifts for their significant other during holiday activities. We only hugged and kissed each other a few times before she left my sight once again that day. We thanked each other and off she went out of my life. This was my last time with her before she and her mother filed that restraining order with the local municipal court that had gotten me to where I am today. You see, world? You see, world, what that bitch had done to my giving Shinshin? He was so hooked on this bitch, and look what she had did to him. He paid for her trips and extravagant. His only thought of her, and in return, what did she give him? She gave him diseases, infections, and a body riddled with boils and abscess. This girl is a walking infestation of sins and mischief. She has ruined the very soul of Shinshin, and looked at what her mother and she had done to him. They have been the death of Shinshin. I don't wish any wrong on anyone, but I think those two conniving whore of human beings deserve each other. I'm sure they already know where they are going. This will probably end up they will probably end up joining me in the afterlife. And when I see them down there in the abyss of hell, I'll just laugh and be on my merry way. Fuck those bitches, that conniving Delilah and her son of a bitch mother, Lilith. I'll see you both in hell, whores. Thank you for listening. This is the end of chapter 149. Be on the lookout for chapter 150, titled Shinshin's Realization and Rapture. This is Do, Ra, me, and I'll see you later. Thank you.